As someone who has been documenting for more than half his life, I'm very romantic about film and film cameras. In particular, my Hasselblad, which is actually a year older than me. It belonged to my father, and when he wanted to sell it on eBay, I had to save the family heirloom, so I purchased it myself. At the time, I didn't see myself as a photographer, and didn't really feel I deserved such a beautiful piece of machinery, but I didn't want anyone else to have it. Not only was I excited to bring my Hasselblad to Japan, but I was really excited to meet Bellamy Hunt and pick his brain about everything to do with film, photography, and maybe, just maybe, get my precious Hasselblad validated by the one known as the Japan Camera Hunter.
Here we are in Tokyo, and I am about to meet the Japan Camera Hunter. His name is Bellamy. I've been following him on Instagram for quite a while, and I finally connected with him, or I'm about to connect with him, and it was a little difficult finding this building, but I'm here, I'm about to meet him. He is, it's all in the name, Japan Camera Hunter. He's just crazy about film cameras, and he's got a crazy camera collection. He buys, sells, I think trades, but that's why we're here. We're here to find out. So thanks to Instagram for allowing me to connect with this guy, and we're about to go see what Bellamy's all about. Got a lot of questions for him. First of all, Mr. Bellamy, thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for coming by. I know it's a bit of a trek.
No, not at all. Not at all. Where are you from?
From Oxford, UK.
Okay.
I say Oxford because it's easy, because people don't know the actual tiny village that I'm from. So, yeah, from the home counties of England.
Okay. How long have you been in Japan?
It's coming up to 13, 14 years now.
Wow.
I think. I can't remember exactly.
What brought you here?
Ways and means. I was travelling, and it wasn't on the list. It was like, oh yeah, Japan. And I was never into anime or anything like that, but somebody said, come to Japan. Don't want to go back home, so with the intention of staying 6 months, and 6 months became a year, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God, it's 10 years. I've bought a house, you know. So I guess I'm here for the long haul. I'm a lifer, as they call it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
What about Japan? What about Tokyo made you stay and not want to go back?
That's a really difficult question, actually, because it's not any one thing. Essentially, it's not a love of Japan either. You know, I'm not like, oh, I want to stay here. I like it here. It's a very comfortable place to live. It's a good standard of living. Everything that I need is here. It's convenient. It's well laid out. You know, the food is fantastic. But I miss my home. I miss England. You know, it's where I'm from. It's where I grew up. England's changed. Not necessarily for the better. You know, everybody seems to have had a complete meltdown all of a sudden and said, we hate foreigners and all of this sort of thing. So England hasn't become a particularly attractive place to live.
Has Tokyo changed in the last 13 years?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's become much more foreigner friendly.
Recently, right?
Yeah, recently, but easier to navigate. More signs in English, more menus. It seems to be more welcoming. You know, when I first came here, you go out to stores in the outer parts of Tokyo, and they would be like, "No, you can't come in here. Go away."
Really?
Yeah, some of them would. Right. But it's much more integrated. It's easier to navigate.
Would you say that you're romantic about film? Maybe romantic isn't the right word.
Romantic probably isn't the right word. Passionate might be the right word. But it's not just film, it's photography. That, you know, it used to be a bit of a shtick when I was first doing it, that, you know, anti-digital. And no, it has its place and it serves its purpose. The idea that there is any form of argument which is better is completely moot. Right. It's a nonsensical argument, you know.
Is that because of where digital has come?
It's because of where digital has come, and it's because of how people's styles and creative tastes change. Now it's nice that we have both options, so people can make the choice of what they want to use as a creative outlet. Right. I think that's a more important concept or way of thinking, you know. But I am passionate about having film as an option for a creative outlet. That to me is very important.
You're obviously a photographer.
Yeah.
So what type of photography?
That's a difficult one, because that's become quite a personal question for me now. I don't share my work online at all. I have received a lot of criticism in the past, but I'm not scared of criticism. I'm scared of the idea that people think I'm making my photography famous through my website, which is famous for another reason, or my Instagram, which is famous for another reason, and I'm using that to build fame on my own work, which would be wrong.
Why don't you just have a completely different account?
But I'd rather not share my work. It just doesn't feel like something I need to do. So I keep it offline. I keep it anonymous. I take pictures of my family, my friends, when I travel, street, landscape, architecture, portrait, everything. And I shoot a lot, but nobody will ever see it.
Does that have anything to do with copy and paste?
No, not really. I think, I was on a couple of photography blogs when I first started doing this, and I came in for some really, it wasn't criticism, it was full-on trolling, and it was nasty, and it got personal.
Wow.
And then it started getting personal about my family. Wow. And I just thought, I don't need this in my life, That's and the more popular you are, or the more well-known you are online, the more people are likely to start doing things like this. So
was there a balance though? There had to be some positive.
No, I didn't see any positives to it. That's why I took it down. That's why I took it off.
Positive comments. People.
There were. Obviously there were, but it was far outweighed by the negativity.
Right.
And so I had a lot of the interviews that I'd done and things like that. I had them withdrawn, took them offline, and just went, no, I think I'll keep my work for me. It makes me happier.
Let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
So would you call yourself the modern day Vivian Maier? Do you know who Vivian Maier is?
Oh, I know who Vivian Maier is.
Is that a story to you? That
the thing is, Vivian Maier got discovered after she passed away, and it turns out that she was a master.
Right.
I don't think anybody's going to find my pictures and go, holy crap, we've discovered a master. They're going to look at these and go, yeah, Binham, come on. It would be a nice romantic notion, but I would just like the idea that my future generations of my family will have images. I think that would just be a nice option.
So you're purely documenting.
Yeah. I spend a lot of time taking pictures of my friends and family. Yeah.
And is there a certain camera you use, or you?
Oh no, whatever I've got to hand.
Right.
Yeah, whatever's available at the time. Lately it's been a T3, before that it was a T2, my MP, whatever I pick up.
Do you shoot any digital?
Personally? No, not really. I take a picture on my phone, it's meaningless to me. Right. It's fleeting, has no, I've not thought about it, but...
But you say your phone, obviously there's other...
I don't have another digital camera apart from the Sony, which is for the office. It's for taking pictures of cameras. I wouldn't take that outside. I find it incredibly unintuitive to use.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. I'm a Luddite. Come on.
Right. Is it have to do with seeing the image as soon as you take it? Is it the nostalgia of taking an image and then developing it?
I don't even think about that anymore. I just don't want to think about what I don't want to see what I've just taken. I don't need to see what I've just taken. I have given it some thought, and if it's a good picture, I will remember that. I'll know when, this works. Right. And I'll look forward to that when I see it on the film. Did it come out how I thought it came out? So I wait for those moments.
Are you overshooting Tokyo, or do you?
I don't shoot in Tokyo. Really, not that much.
Recently, your first 5-10 years here, you must have been.
Oh yeah, for sure. But now, no. I don't shoot going to the supermarket. I don't shoot when I walk into the bank. Then people think I'm mad.
You say street photography, so.
Yeah, but not in Tokyo. I've done it. I don't feel energized by it. To me, Tokyo is where I live.
Yeah.
you know, for somebody who comes here, it's a very exciting place, and I can understand that because that's how I feel when I go to Hong Kong, or Jakarta, or Taipei, or New York, or wherever. You know, the camera just doesn't leave my hand.
Yeah.
But here, I'm going to the shops. I don't need my camera. I'm going to get some lunch. I don't need my camera. Street photography is not that important to me.
Right.
I'm much more interested in the moments that have meaning for my memories.
So are there just massive photo albums at your home? Or
no, well, you know, no, this is the thing. I suck. I don't scan enough of my images. I've got a pack on over there that I haven't used yet because I haven't had time.
So what, you just have...
I have stacks of negatives, and I have got probably about 150 to 200 rolls that need scanning.
Yeah. It's a slow process.
Yeah. Which I don't have time to do, and even bigger, I've got contact sheets which I did in the darkroom, just boxes of them. Like one day I'll get round to going, oh, that one. Right. You know, that's my secret shame, that, you know, I do all of this for other people to shoot film, but I don't have enough time to organise my own film life. Right. You know, I wish I had more time, but hey, when I retire.
How did you start your business?
I was working for a Japanese company. And it was a photography related company, and it still is. It's quite an old one in Tokyo. And I was working in foreign products department. I was dealing with, you know, quite a lot of big brands. And one of the side jobs they had me doing was sourcing cameras for a couple of stores in the UK. And I was doing it, and I was really enjoying that aspect of my job. I was enjoying other aspects of my job much less so. Right. And they couldn't sustain that, and they wanted to get out of that side of the business. They said it's not really worth it for us. And I was just exhausted. I was getting sick from working. I was working, you know, 6 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day.
What's the word for death by overworking?
Kareshi? I can't remember. Karoshi. Yeah, I was getting sick, and I just went, look, I can't do this anymore. I want to do the sourcing thing on my own. And they said, yeah, fine, no problem. Tell you what, here's a couple of customers, here's some contacts, off you go.
Wow. If
you need any help, just give us a shout. Which was a real huge boost for me.
Were you surprised?
Yes, but not that surprised, because they were a family. They still are a family, and I'm still welcomed there. I'm still treated like one of the... Everybody who worked there was treated very well. It's not like companies I worked for before, where you're just an asset, and then when you've expended your usefulness, you're gone. You know, there you're part of the family, and you will always be welcome to the parties. You will always be welcome to come in and have a chat. And that opened a lot of doors for me. Doors which were just not available to other foreigners here. You know, but I put my work in. You know, I did my apprenticeship for that. I was filling bags of sand and for studios and stuff for hours a day, just to get a foot in the door, you know. So I felt like I earned it. You know. This
is a deeper question. I didn't even mean to ask this. But
sure.
What is the Japanese business language? Not necessarily the Japanese. I realize that there is always a lot left for interpretation.
Yes. That's difficult, because I've worked on the inside in a Japanese company, so I know how it is when it comes to negotiations. You don't say much. You consider a lot. There's an awful lot of talking, but not a great deal is said.
Right.
There's an awful lot of thank yous, yes, pleases, thank yous, and bowing, and but nothing gets agreed to. I've sat in meetings for 4 hours where it's just going around, people giving their thoughts on something, where nobody actually wants to say anything that might be subversive, or perhaps, you know, questioning the status quo. So they all just go, yeah, well, yes, I think that's okay.
Right.
Because behind closed doors, it's not like that. They'll be like, have you seen this idea? Yeah, it's absolute garbage. What are you thinking? Right. You know, but when they're in the meeting, that's the business culture here. It always has been. It's not that hard to deal with, as long as you understand that unless they are absolutely 100% sure about something, and they have to be 100% sure about something.
Right.
Otherwise, they will not give you a yes or a no. They'll just give you a which can be really frustrating. You know, what does that mean?
Is that another personal question? Do you think that that translates to like relationships?
Yes, absolutely. Because Japanese have it's honne o tatamai. It's the public face and the private face, and that applies to business. That applies to interpersonal relationships in the workplace. That applies to the relationships you have in society with people. It doesn't so much affect the relationships you have with significant others because you already know them. They are part of your private face.
Right.
But even then, you can be like, you know, talking to them in a way in public, and they'll be like, "Shut up, stop talking. You're talking too much." Oh, okay, right, got you.
Right.
Or not even that, just a stamp on the foot or a
Right.
dig in the ribs, and you're
Right.
like, "Oh, right, yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn how to bite your tongue.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, back to you. How did you start your business?
There's so many aspects to my business. I sell lenses for manufacturers here. I source cameras for people. I don't keep a stock of cameras.
Okay.
I do have some cameras, and they're consignment items because I sell cameras for people too.
Right.
So I find I find cameras for people. I find lenses for people. I'll organise repairs. I will sell products related to film photography. I do talks and presentations and keynotes that I get paid for. We've got merchandising coming and things like that. So there's not just one sort of thing going on, which is why I'm so busy. There's lots and lots and lots of things that happen. But the main thing that it started from was finding cameras for people.
Right.
Somebody would say, "I want this," and I would say, "Right, yeah, I can find it. It's this much. This is my fee. Done."
Right.
Which is still a staple part of my business.
So how does one create film?
With an awful lot of headaches, and a great deal of patience. I know a lot of people in the industry, so I was able to make connections, with those people and float the idea of making a film. I had to put all of my own money into it, which was a lot of money, and I had to take a risk. I had no choice. It was either that or just don't do anything and watch it all sink. So I decided to take the initiative.
So you kind of just said it, but what was your main reason for did you felt that
we were having
missing?
No, it wasn't that this was missing. It was a film that I liked. It was a film that I wanted to make, and I wanted to do something for the community, because it seemed like every bit of news we were getting was, "This is discontinued. This is discontinued. They're not making this anymore." It's like, come on.
Right.
Can't somebody say, "By the way, this is new"?
Right.
So I decided to do that. And it was funny because the reaction I got when I first put it out was very mixed. Half of them were like, "Wow," and the other half were like, "Oh, you suck," and "Film is dead," and "Give it up." And
isn't that a compliment though? Like the idiots that say that, don't you take that as a compliment?
I do now. At the time, I didn't. Right. I was like, "Oh no, what, am I doing the right thing?" And now I'm like, "Yeah." Somebody sent me a picture of one of these boxes on fire today, like burning it, saying this stuff's. And I was just like, "Thanks, dude."
Yeah. I mean, to take that much.
Thanks for spending the money on my film and then setting it on fire.
Right.
But I think to me it's. Now it's encouragement. You're not doing it right if somebody doesn't hate you.
Yeah.
I don't really take much notice of the comments anymore. You can't. Yeah. You can't. You just get on with it. And the reaction from sales, and that's where it speaks to me.
Exactly.
It has been very good. So.
How long has it been on the market?
Just over a year and a half.
And it's made in Belgium.
Yes.
Couldn't it be made cheaper in Japan?
No.
Really?
No, couldn't be. We don't have any access to the manufacturing capabilities here. because the manufacturing capabilities are owned by one company, and they don't want to be in the film business anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we're limited in. There's a few small manufacturers, factories based around mainly Europe that we go to, and we can work with. So it's a bit of a misnomer. It says made. It should really say made in Europe.
Mm.
You know, because part of it came from Belgium, and then another part of it came from somewhere else, and somewhere else. And
Do you have color film?
well, for the hot scoop, I guess, there will be a color film coming out next year.
Okay, awesome.
But that takes some time. Yeah.
What should people know before they contact you?
I think the main thing is for people to just know what they want.
Mm.
I can give you some guidance, but I'm not going to tell you what camera to buy. That is a personal decision.
Yeah.
And it should be your decision. It shouldn't be mine, you know. But if you know what you want, yeah, I'm like a unguided missile.
Right.
You know, if you know what you want, I can find it.
Right.
You know, if you don't know what you want, I get so many mails. I don't have time.
Do you have people just asking you for advice? Or?
Yes, a lot, and I will help and I will answer as best as I can. But once it starts getting beyond 3-4 emails, patience wears thin.
Yeah.
You know, and when you get people who send you 15-20 emails going, hey, can I get hey, can I, hey, can I, hey, can I, hey, can I,
Right.
and then, oh, I'm not going to buy anything from you.
Right.
Well, you know, no, you can't.
Right.
Yeah, I don't mind helping people as much as possible, but be reasonable.
Right.
You know, and good manners.
Right.
That's it. I think it's something people forget, but you know, when people get quite demandy,
Yeah.
I quickly just say, no, I don't think I can help.
Sure.
Because I've got people who are being polite to me. So
Sure. And you live in Japan.
yeah. Well, not just that. I'm an Englishman from Japan, so you know, I've got this double whammy of social constraints, and you know.
Some questions some people might be thinking at home or wherever they're watching this is, well, why can't I just type it into eBay, and if I know what I want, just click and paste it into eBay and see
Sure,
what's out there?
knock yourself out. I'm not stopping you from rolling those dice,
Right.
because that's what it is.
Right.
It's gamble.
Right.
You know, yes, there are good things on there, and there's good sellers on there, no doubt.
Right.
I'm sure there are. I don't use it, but I will help you find exactly what you want, and you will know it will work, and I will make sure it will work, and you won't have to return it. And if for some reason you did have to return it, that's fine.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to leave you scratching your head going, how did I get screwed in this? You know, I want you to come back and buy something else. So I take good care of my customers.
Well, I don't want to take any more of your time. I think it's been an amazing learning experience for me. It's been amazing picking your brain.
Thank you.
Is there anything that I missed, or is there anything that maybe you want people to know? I mean, I asked what should people know before they're contacting you.
Sure. No, I mean, feel free to drop me a line, even if you're not sure. You know, if don't feel like you're wasting my time.
And you're not talking to me, you're talking to everybody right now.
Yeah, to everybody. Don't feel like you're wasting my time. Ask me a question. Be reasonable. Understand that I'm busy, but just be reasonable, and I'll do my best to help you. If we can't find something, well, we have a saying here, shogunai. It just means like, well, shit happens.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Suck it up, whatever. It's got a multitude of meanings. But if we can find something, great. You know, I might be able to make you very happy with your next camera or next lens. So.
Just leaving the interview with Bellamy, it went really well. I was able to sit down and chat with him for about an hour. Really interesting gentleman, passionate, respectful, a man of high standards and a man of morals, and a man that definitely has his code that he sticks with, which I can definitely respect, especially in these times of individuals and narcissism and as I'm talking to my own phone. But he definitely has his code that he sticks with, and super interesting, way more interesting than I imagined. He makes his own film. He's black and white film. He's starting to make color film, and yeah, he's just he'll find the camera that you need. He'll answer your questions as long as you're respectful. So I really appreciate his time, and I'm flattered that he gave me his time, because he's super busy, not to mention it's the holidays. So it's just a crazy time right now. So I feel very blessed that I was able to sit down with him and share his story with you. And the reason why I love doing these interviews, and the reason why I went out on my own, is because I just want to do stories and interview people that I think are interesting. And if you're following my YouTube channel, if you're following my Instagram, if you're following wherever you're seeing this, I hope you find it interesting too. But I'm not doing any of these interviews or stories to please anybody. I'm really just doing it to please myself. And I'm hoping that as long as I do that, they will remain genuine, and you will continue to watch and you will continue to share, so I can continue to do this. So right now I'm shooting this on my iPhone, and I'm going to continue to just capture these stories on whatever medium I can, so that I can tell the story. Because it's all about content at the end of the day. I mean, it has to look decent, but for me to sit down and set up a light and set up a mic and, you know, record what I'm saying, that's all great. But also, this is the easiest way to just capture my immediate reaction to the interview that just happened, or to whatever happens. To be able to just capture it in the moment, I think is way more important than setting up the right camera, the right lens, the right lighting, the microphone. So I'm really happy that technology has gotten to a point where not only can we capture stories, but we can share stories in a way that anybody could do it, really. I don't want to assume that everybody can afford an iPhone, but a lot of people have iPhones, a lot of people have Androids, a lot of people have smartphones, we'll call it. And if you have a smartphone, that's all you need. I mean, first you need the story and you need the content, but there's no excuse not to do it because you don't have a certain camera, you don't have a certain lens, or you don't have a light, or you don't have an assistant, or you don't have, I mean, right now I have camera bags, a tripod, and 2 cameras on me, but I'm shooting on my iPhone, and because it's the best way to capture what I feel right now. So that's it. Thank you, Bellamy. Thank you, Tokyo. Thank you, Japan. Thank you to all the people watching. Please subscribe, share, tell your friends, so I can continue to do stuff like this, so I can continue to tell stories that hopefully you want to see and hear. All right.